gonna make some.
They're gonna hear you, by the way, but what?
I'm gonna make one of these. You liked it last time.
Okay.
I made the meatballs. This will be the chicken. It's cilantro, lime with natural flavor.
Cool.
Boneless, skinless breast. So that'll be dinner.
Alright, let's see. That all up. Let's set up our thingy. Alright, here we go. If I could spell evenings, that would have been great. Pyretic, I'm probably going to be assembling some models today. Let's go ahead and update that since I didn't have that going. Boop. Yeah, I could actually, depending on how fast I get done with assembling a couple things for the Deathguard day. Might be able to work on some. Yep. Might be able to work on some of the ultras too from Dark Imperium. It just depends on what I can get done. What's up, Java? Okay. Let's see here. I got to get out some bases. Kaiser sent these to me so that I could do. Have some stuff for giveaways, and unfortunately didn't send me any bases, so I gotta see what I got in my collection. Nice. Well, I'm working from home too. Current commission is not doable until the client sends me the second half, so rather than work on half of it, I figure I'll wait till it's all here so I can start airbrushing everything at one time. So let's see. Let's see. Poxwalkers, dudes, that, and I think the Blight drone needs, what, a bigger base? I think the Blight drone's on that base size, I think. I hope so. If not, oh. And let's see what I got over here for base, extra bases. Okay, let's see. Looking at the bases for these Necrons, I have some cool little crystal base, resin bases at crystal. Seeing if I might be able to mount one on here, but don't think I'm going to be able to. Not with the way their feet are. They would need to be repositioned. You know, that guy's definitely not going to qualify. Oberon. Yeah, I don't think those are going to work for me. Really don't. I was hoping I was going to have a cool base one. Not today. Somebody else will get that eventually. Alright. Crack open our drink. Alright. Get out some Deathguard here. Alright, let's figure out what we want to work on. What Poxwalkers will look cool? I didn't get instructions either, so I have to figure out which ones I want to do and if I can even get them done or assembled right. There's what, 2 sheets of these? Are they identical? Yeah, those are identical. This is how much I've looked at the actual Poxwalkers. Yeah. Alright, so let's see here. I kinda like that one. Yeah. So I picked out this guy right here who looks cool. I'm assuming, because it's got a little notch, I'm assuming it's this head right here. Because it's got that same, no, it's not a square. Oh, it's always interesting when I'm on stream. It's like I'm a coke addict. Okay, this guy's head, there we go. And let's see, he's got an arm missing. I think that the hammer? No, hand missing. The hammer goes with that? Nice. Yeah, I've not played much of the new 40K, to be honest. Yeah, so I think he'll be fun to paint. Figure out how I want to do his coat. Yep, cool. So his 3 bits. Now, I'm going to give away 2 units of Poxwalkers when I do this. Let's pick out another one that looks cool. Now I started in 2010 for 40K, so I haven't been playing that long. That guy's got a funny looking face. Which one do you go with? Oh wait, no, that's the wrong one. That's his head. What a derp. Man. Alright, this is the proper piece for him. There we go. Proper pieces. Now, let's drop you back in the box so we don't lose you. Alright, so we need to get a guy off of this one. That should be fun. I'm going to assume this is the proper head for him. Let's see if that lines up. I think so. Cool. Let's adjust this camera so we can actually see what I'm snipping here. And hang on. This is a good habit as well. Let's put our bits in a box so in case something happens catastrophic, if they fall, they're in this box lid. Good habit to have. Okay, now what? We're gonna do 1 Plague Marine and then 1 HQ guy. Right? Right. I don't design those. GameMats.com sent me some stuff to promote my Twitch channel, and they've shared a lot of my posts, so it makes sense to show some reciprocity. You know, they're sharing my stuff and sending me swag. I'm sharing their stuff, so it's kind of symbiotic. You might also see some stuff shared from Death Ray Designs. Death Ray Designs is formerly Brush for Hire. That's where I started doing my commission work at. So if you've not seen their stuff, they got really good MDF terrain and stuff like that, as well as stencils and acrylic stuff. And it looks like my follower thing's not up to date, so hang on, let me refresh this.
For the Emperor!
It's gonna come through twice. Probably. Alright, what screws we got in here?
For the Emperor!
There it is. Yeah, those were not live. They were. That's a refresh to update my totals here. Okay, so it looks like the characters are all on the sprue. What do we want to? Which one do we want to work on? Let's bring up the Dark Imperium set, so at least I can see it. Not having instructions is not the end of the world. Yeah, actually, you know what? Hold on. I think I got instructions for this. Ugh, this is what happens. I forgot. Like a dummy. I kept the instruction booklet for mine, and I forgot it has the chaos stuff in it too. Alright, so let's get in here and figure out which character we want to run. Alright, got the right hit on him. That's good. The guy looks kind of cool too. These Poxwalkers actually look kind of cool. Alright, so that's a Plague Marine. So a picture of the final ones. Let's look. We're gonna pick out a Plague Marine here I like. Got him. I know exactly which one I want to do now. Probably the coolest looking one in the bunch. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna do the Sorcerer, and then for the Plague Marines, whatever C13, C14, C11 through 14. That's what we're gonna do. He looks badass. Where are you at, buddy? Assuming he's on here. There's 14. He didn't have 15. Yeah, 14, 13, 12, 11. If I can find all this stuff. Okay, hang on. The one that I like has a pistol and a dagger. That one. He looks really... That's menacing. That's got a good pose too because it's moving. I don't like this one because he doesn't look proportionate and he's kind of hefty. This guy looks derpy. So yeah, that guy and the grenade guy look the coolest. If I can find the bits, we'll be alright. It says 13, that can't be right. I need a chest piece. Unless we're missing a sprue, which is possible, because that's the side. Huh. Could be missing a sprue. Let's see here. Some light room. That explains that. There, I thought the Blight Drone was its own sprue. It is, but it's got the Plague Marines on it too. Woo. Okay, so we got that. And we need this chest. Got it. I might snip those bells off. I don't know if I like those. Yeah, not a big fan of quite a few of the chaosy things, to be honest, because there's a lot of dingly dangly bits that I just personally don't care for. That's a cool looking thing. That's a cool looking bit, whoever that goes to. Man, you think they gave enough bells? These guys are like related to the Skaven or something. There's bells all over these guys. I think I snipped the wrong piece here. I did. This is the one I need. Oops. Yeah, I think some of them could go, and then some of them can't. Just depends on which ones. Yeah, so I don't know who that goes to. Alright, so now let's figure out which caster we want. Or which character. It's real. It's hard to. It's hard not to put that one together because that guy looks so cool. Hard not to. Alright. But I already got part of the sorcerer bits cut off, so let's do the sorcerer. Make sure I snip the right bits this time. Okay. Alright, Mr. Sorcerer, so I've got your body. $17, $16. Ooh, that got a lot of fiddly bits. One of them. Yep. $20, $16. Yep. Super dip it. What up, man? What up? Not doing any painting today. Working on some assembly to get these guys prepped for the Deathguard day. How you doing? 19. So got that and that. Okay, I think I got all those pieces. Sure, if I missed something, I can go dig them up. I would like for that to be towards the end of the month, maybe around Halloween, but it's really gonna actually no. Hang on, before I actually get going. There's a 32 mil. That is not a 32. This is 32. I think the. Hang on, give me 1 second. I'm making sure I get the right basis for these. 25 mil. Float drone is on a 60. Alright, so 32, 32, 25, 60. Alright, so I need 2, 2, and 1. Anyway, sorry about that. Hopefully aiming for the end of October, if I can. I'd like to do it around Halloween, but it depends on what's going to happen with family and all that stuff, you know. Family festivities. Oh, wait, somebody just talked? Somebody say something?
Yes, it is. It is friend from World of Tanks.
Oh,
World of Tanks.
hello. Haven't seen you in a million years?
Yes, I have been working in school.
I understand that.
Oh, dude, I'm in such a good mood now. I got my
Did
first ever
something.
Pulse medal in what?
Nice.
Yes. Team carried 10 kills and I only had 98 hit points left.
Oh, nice.
Dude, I got terrified. I was afraid their Artie was gonna kill me, but he ended up being a tomato trying to counter Artie for one of my teammates. Oh, sorry, I haven't been on your streams much. I've been actually really busy. I did, however, go back and watch your streams whenever I had the time.
Oh, dude, I ain't worried about it. Ain't no big deal. If you got time, you got time.
Oh yeah, and I might be trying to get into a little bit of Warhammer 40k tabletop sooner or later.
Awesome.
Yes.
It is the one thing I'll say when you get into it. Hopefully have friends to play with, because now this is my perspective, but the pickup game Pugs with random people, that is so hit or miss, and you get paired up with douchebags. So
Yeah, that I would rather like find friends on here and just play just for fun.
yeah, and that's me. I mean, I'm not stupid. You know, I play to win. I play with a brain, but I don't do some of the cheesy crap that other people do. You know, and if both players are into that, that's fine. The problem is if one player's into that and one's not, one player gets smashed and the other one doesn't do anything. So with 40k, you really have to figure out who, you know, what your kind of fun's going to be and what your opponent's fun's going to be. And then if you don't enjoy painting and you only enjoy winning, that's like half the hobby right out the window. It's gone.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to learn to paint than you'd think. You just have to be willing to try.
I might just order stuff off of you sooner or later whenever I can afford it.
Oh, there's that.
That way at least I know somebody to get them from.
Well, I can, I mean, even if you didn't, I could still, or even if I wasn't painting, I could still point you in a good direction, because, I mean, I know other artists.
Yeah.
The issue is just, it's not really cheap, and if it is cheap, you generally get something that looks cheap, so.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's why I was going to save up after I get some stuff fishing and everything. That's my main hobby is fishing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've been
That
watching
doesn't,
videos to kind of like, I forgot how to jig after a while, so I've been watching videos to kind of get and then practicing with my rod with the jigging on certain lures.
Well, that's two hobbies that you don't see go hand in hand very much. I don't meet too many nerdy 40k style people who also fish. Yeah. Of course, I'd probably be surprised. I mean, I'm into, you know, firearms and so forth, and one might assume that nerds aren't into that stuff, but
Lol.
I do like to paint models that have big guns on them that blow stuff up. So.
Oh that's like the most damage I've ever done in a medium tank. I'm so happy. This is supposed to be a very terrible medium. Everybody says so many bad things about it, but I've had nothing but good to say. It's such a great tank. The fucking A44 is a beast.
Did you give up on warships?
For a little bit, I kind of got angry with getting on really horrible teams back to back. I had 10 losses in a row, and I decided to quit the game for a month or two.
Oh wow, yeah.
I mean, if you're want to get like 10-game losing streaks day after day after day, back to back, it's just like time to take a break.
Yeah. Well, they've got. I think it started. They've got an October thing going on where you can like, I think unlock a tier 5 Russian battleship. I think. I haven't been on in a couple days, but I'm pretty sure that's live now.
Yeah, I think the only days I'll actually be able to get on World of Warships and play with you would probably be Saturday and Sunday, because those are the days I'm off and don't work. Or tomorrow,
Gotcha.
if you're able.
Yeah, the downside is I don't get on till late to do these things during the day, and then family duties.
I'm not okay.
Yeah.
Fun. Oh, the grind for the Object 416. So long. I've been spending like I've been working on the A44 for days now, using up all my XP boosts. I'm so close, yet still so far away.
I'm surprised you have better gaming and tanks than you do ships. My experience in that game was terrible. Yeah.
Of course, I have a lot of experience with this game. I have 3 accounts where I had tier 10s and I sold all 3 accounts because I got bored of the game and got pissed off because we were gaming.
Well, there is that. My arm is getting sore. Weren't you trying to stream?
I was a little bit, but my internet is kind of being wonky now, so I don't really understand what's going on. So I'm just going to have to wait to upgrade, really, or go to my friend's house.
Yeah.
I'm just going to end up getting a laptop, like a gaming laptop, take to my friend's house and play it.
Yeah.
Of course, our 2 top tier TDs come over here. Ow, artillery. Cancer. I use my repair to fix my tracks just to have a force slam my engine.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Happens to me in warships all the time. Fix my rudder or my engine, get hit, blow it out again.
Oh my god, my tank's so slow now. I can't do it. I'm running away now. I can afford to lose my gunner. I don't care about that, but my loader, that would have screwed me. At least there's like no crews to lose in your battleships, or you'd be so crippled without even having any damage.
Yeah, that's one thing people want to see come in, though, because that's an interesting concept from tanks that people do like. I'm surprised they haven't done that yet.
True.
I mean, a tank has less people than a ship. You'd think that you would have crewmates or a crew option on World of Warships.
Oh Lord, my tank is so crippled. My engine's out, I have my gunner dead, and I don't have... That's what I like about World of Tanks, though. They made the consumables reloadable during the game. Like
Yeah, but isn't that like pay to win with the premium ammo?
Oh, no. Like, what I'm talking about consumables like repair kits and first aids and fire extinguishers.
What do you mean reloadable?
They made them as like the countdown reload cooldowns.
Oh, so they're, well, you have a countdown in warships, but I'm assuming you mean there's no charges.
Yeah, that and there's like, see, unlike World of Warships, tanks didn't have reloadable consumable.
Gotcha. This guy looks so goofy. What the hell? He's a goofy looking dude.
I want to die because I missed that shot. Oh god. Oh, nope, it bounced. I'm so lucky. Oh boy. Oh, engine fire. Rip you. Oh god. That be medium.
Question is, do I want to do any kind of basing on those ahead of time? Let's go now. Let's keep it simple.
I've learned how to play mediums from a pro player that streams a lot, so I'm kind of doing way better with my medium tank gameplay.
Nice.
Ever heard of Quickie Baby?
Don't think so. I also don't watch a lot of Twitch.
Yeah.
I'm either streaming or sleeping. Woo, excuse me. Oh, sneeze and slide the model off. Yeah. Two Poxwalkers complete.
How is the painting industry going nowadays?
Same as usual, slow and steady.
See, the key word there is steady, though.
Yeah, well, the big issue is slow. I can't paint any faster than I do.
Well, would you rather like customers be complaining about horrible work, or would you like to have compliments where your work is beyond satisfactory because of it's not sloppy, it's great, and so on?
Well, quality is good, but you know, you get to a point where you hit critical mass and you can only paint so much in a year, and then you start having to look at the bottom line numbers. You know, if you can't paint any faster, that means you can't do more projects, means you can't make more money. I've never had a quality issue. It's always been speed. What I'd really like to do is have enough work to hire more artists and then make, you know, more money because we put out more volume. But
What's your highest tier in what World of Warships now?
9.
Oh, nice. Which one?
I've got the Balsamore and I've got the Vertigrobe. Yeah.
Oh, so you finally got past the busy.
I finally bought the fur. I've been past the Bismarck for a while. I've got like 250,000 XP banked up on the Bismarck now or something like that. I never wanted to get the fur because I didn't want to switch my commander over. And then a buddy of mine plays tier 9s and 10s, and I want to also be able to play with him and not make him play 5, 6, and 7s all the time. So I bought it, and it stinks going from a 16-point Bismarck captain to a 3-point Vertigrobe. It sucks.
Oh, yeah. The grind is painful.
Yeah.
I stopped kind of grinding on the German tree. I've just been playing the Alabama and just trying to get up some convertible XP and get past the good
Alabama's
nights.
good.
But, I mean, I am kind of enjoying my break from World of Warships. I'm not getting mad as much at the games. I'm actually, like, having fun.
Well, that is what matters.
Kind of like, if you know what if you understand what I mean, like, I don't like staying on a game when I'm getting constantly pissed off because of terrible teams.
Yeah, if you're not having fun, that's why, I mean, I lose at least half my matches in Warships, but that's why I started trying to, like, do micro goals. If my performance is reasonably okay, then I'm usually happy win or lose, because I can only do so much. It's when my performance stinks or I get one shot at the beginning that I get mad. But unfortunately, I had to learn early on that people in that game just do stupid stuff, or they don't pay attention.
Yeah, there was this one game where I was actually got into a tier 10 match with a Shimikaze, and off of one torpedo salvo, he got Kraken unleashed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
they
super
all
lucky.
they all got bundled up in the. I can't remember what map it is. It has like all these little small islands, very tight confined. He murdered all the cruisers on that flank in one
Wow.
time. After that game, that was the game that made me quit.
Well, that's super lucky. I've only gotten like a couple of Krakens ever, and I've only gotten a couple of double kills ever. That probably made the Shimikaze's day.
Oh yeah. And considering he was streaming at the time too.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh god, I went on the wrong flank. But at least our T-43 is a scrub. Ow. And our team is not pushing this flank. That is the scary part.
RS Blunden or Java, if you guys are still here. This is one of the guys I played World of Warships with, and we're talking about World of Warships and World of War Tanks. Or World of Tanks, rather. Yeah.
They should actually make it that because they have World of Warplanes and World of Warships.
You would think. Of course, World of Warplanes is poop.
True.
I tried it. I love
airplanes.
airplanes.
The planes having hit points.
I like it. The issue I had was just ramming. It's dumb. Ramming with airplanes stupid. It should be a mutual kill. Just like it normally is. Almost 9% of the time, if a battleship rams another battleship, they both die. There's a chance, but most of the time. And World of Warplanes, it's like, oh look, I just rammed you, flew through you, and kept going. I'm like, no, that doesn't work that way. That's a really stupid mechanic. And that happened to me way too many times. And I was like, alright, uninstall. I'm done.
Lol.
Yep, it was really stupid. But yeah, Java, that's what I play in the evenings most of the time. It's the gameplay's slow enough that I don't get too angry, because it's not like Call of Duty or Battlefield or something like that. It is a shooter, but it's a little bit more casual for me. I can't get down with Halo and Call of Duty these days. I'm also like a million years out of practice, so...
Oh god. 5 out of 6 of their mediums are coming after me. Run! And their high tier light tanks after me too. Not every day you see a tier 8 bulldog coming after you. That is not a fun experience. He's got a big gun. A very scary gun.
I'll have to take your word for it. Because I got no idea what you're talking about.
Finally! Took me long enough to hunt that guy down. Got tired of getting hit in the back. Oh jeez. Hi fellers. That was painful.
Huh.
Yeah, I have to get my wisdom teeth taken out at the end of the month. That's gonna be lovely.
Yeah, you have fun with that. Yeah, you're what, 18? Yeah.
I have to get all 4 tickets. Like, my dad wanted to do one at a time. I was like, I ain't doing that. I'm not getting drugged that much.
Yeah, might as well just get it out. Get done.
Get done good over with.
I got lucky. All 4 of mine came in straight.
Oh yeah, mine are growing in crooked and one of them's pushing my top left wisdom, not wisdom, my molar out.
Yep.
Oh, it still hurts so bad. I have to use numbing gel, like Oragel on my gums on my left side just so I can bear it enough to go to work.
Yeah.
Cause I has to make some money.
Money is good.
Indeed. How was trip to New York?
Oh, that's pretty good. I spent a lot of money. I got the weight off now just because I've, eaten normal food again, but I put on like 5 pounds while I was there.
Eating what?
We ate out every day and ate a bunch of Italian food and breaded food and, a bunch of starchy stuff.
Got to have them starches.
Yeah.
Oh.
They added clans to, not clans, the clan docks to World of Warships.
Oh nice.
Yeah. So now you earn like oil and stuff in the game, and the clan leader can use it to upgrade the docks and increase the clan size and XP generated for everyone on certain tiers or certain countries. So like right now, the clan I'm in, we get bonus XP for Americans and UK ships, which is pretty cool. I think this guy's gonna lose his spike on his head. I don't like it. Apply spike.
I love being in the top 81% of players in the game and certain stuff. I want to be in the top 99%. That would make me very happy.
You mean the top 1%?
Yeah.
If you're in the top 99,
Oh
you're
yeah,
in the
true.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, you're in the top 80%. That's like that's most players.
So many guys have like 11,000 plus personal rating. I'm at 5.7, but I don't have as many battles as they do.
Yeah.
I'm trying though. I'm getting up there. Win percentage though, not that bad. Jeez, 80%. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I have like a 47 or 48 win percent in ships. It's pretty bad.
Ouchie.
My damage per battle is not too bad, but and they're introducing clan battles, and the clan that I'm in, I got recruited to be a CV commander, and they're not going to let you use CVs in clan battles.
Oh.
Yep. They said that it's a well-organized team would be nearly unbeatable with a CV, and so they're going to ban it. Or not ban it, they're not going to let you use it. And I'm like, the whole point of clan battles is to be organized. Like, that's stupid. Because if you have a CV, the enemy's probably going to have a CV, or should. That's why they should do it, they should. And the whole point's to work together as a team. If you're going to say CVs are going to dominate too much, so you can't have them because it's too much coordination, then why even have clan battles? Because that's the whole point of it.
Yeah, true.
And in naval history, granted we don't have subs, but in naval history, and in history, just period, air control's a big deal. So yeah, it makes sense that a CV can turn the tide of a game, but it's up to both teams to build around that and play. And one of the things they're doing also, which is dumb, in clan battles, you're only going to get to have one battleship.
That's dumb.
So, yeah, no CVs and one battleship. And, unless they've changed it, it's going to be tier 10 battles.
So
Yep.
if it's the Yamato versus Montana or occur first, or any of those, it's probably going to be a win for the Yamato.
Yeah.
And
they're gonna let you-
spotted for.
And unless it's changed, last time I saw the update and talked to my friends about it, they're going to let you rent tier 10s if you don't have one.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know if that's just in general or just for clan battles, though.
I would say it would be in clan battles, because people wouldn't have the currency to constantly rent a tier 10. I mean, I
Yeah.
wish it would give you like this like little server to use where you could actually like free to play tier 10s, like just to test them out against AIs and stuff. You don't
Well,
get
what
anything for it.
What they should do is just let you test ships in general against bots, and you get no currency and you don't get charged, and it's only you against computers. That is, which is what you just said. They should let you do that. You should be able to play test them. Which Heroes of the Storm does that, which is that's a good thing. You don't get any quests or anything off it. You just get to play the champion, and that makes sense, especially for like premiums too. Like if you're gonna buy a premium ship, you should be able to try it before you buy it. You know, and just try it in a bot game where you get no points or benefits just to see if you like how it handles. It's like test driving a car. You're probably not going to go buy a Ferrari unless you get to test drive the thing. You'd hate to buy it and then not like it, you know? It'd be a waste of money.
Oh, I did no damage this game. That IS-2 wrecked me. I did not expect that to happen. I died all because I got stuck, and right as I got unstuck, their tier 8 heavy rushed me in and pushed me into the rest of his team. I don't understand that though. I don't know why the rest of my team hung back so far. They're supposed to push. I mean, especially like there's this warehouse on the map that your team usually pushes at the camp in every single match, but for some reason they all sat back behind it. The heavies in particular should not be sitting in the back. Makes no sense. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get something to eat before I have to go to work.
Sounds good. Oh, nose is running. Ugh, broke off one of the spikes. Oops. Bent that one. So what happens when you get these little fiddly bits? Oh my god. Ooh, let's find a new strength there. Alright, let's see here. What are you doing, Glue? Let's see what the instructions say about this little guy. Alright. So this part is next. So the instructions say so mounts on his head and right there. Okay. Now, it shows them putting this on. Getting that to line up properly is going to be a feat. Okay, that arm is in. It's this one that's going to be the problem. We don't glue our fingers together. that's convenient. Nice. Good job, GW. Gave this fiddly bit 2 places to mount. Kudos to this model designer. Good job, sir. Good job. You have done well. Thank you for being useful. Okay. Now, where's that go? Backpack? Okay. It's not this way, though. No, okay, it is indeed this way. This way is the way that it goes. You must attach to backpack in proper way or it will look, how you say, stupid. Don't assemble the model incorrectly or the Gestapo will come for you. I don't know if Gestapo was Russian or German. It's actually a pretty cool looking model. This dude's got a lot going on. Crazy. Plague Brawn time. Okay, so front piece. The big piece, perhaps. Did I miss a step over here? No. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so apparently these smushed together.
I am back.
Welcome back.
He's good to be back. Trying to find a way to find these replays. Oh, there they are.
most of the bits.
I've got to figure out how to get my replays. Join the team speakers.
I think I had. Oh, there's the bit. Okay. What's up, Vespa? Doing pretty good. How you doing, man? I have no idea. But it's whatever you gambled if you win plus that. So you won 20 on top of getting your original 100 back. The verbiage on it's not good. It doesn't explain it well, but that's actually what happens. Yeah. My moderator was confused when we first set my bot up and started my channel, and we had to do the same thing. We did points before and after to verify. The guys who make the bot really should just make it add both together and tell you. You know, if you win, it should say you won 120 instead of 20. You know. So you watching from work or you have the day off? Sometimes I have people that pop in during the day while they're at work and just listen or just kind of load up the stream. Nice. Good brushes, man. Oh crap, I didn't know you're that young. Woo! Youngsters, no wonder you go to bed early when I stream on Tuesdays. A wee little whippersnapper we have here, hanging out in my stream. I heard you laughing. Yeah. These old voices. Yep. Well, the guy that's in Discord right now is a youngster too. 18 years old. Quite the young one. Well, damn, dude. Like, I haven't even been playing 40K that long, but if you're in high school, when I started 40K, hell, well, not 40K, when I started gaming miniatures, yeah, you probably were, like, barely alive. Yeah, 2001. Yup. I started 40K in 2010, so you were in like middle school or something. If that, might have been in grade school. 6 years ago. So you were like, what, 10, 11? Assault on Black Reach? Is that the kit you started with? Or the 2-player starter that was out at the time? That was such a good starter too, because the Marines were generic, so you could buy it and use them for any Space Marine chapter you wanted or book. They were good for Dark Angels or Codex Marines. They didn't work so well for Space Wolves, but they were generic, so you could put the decals on them. They just didn't have all the Space Wolf heads and stuff. Yep, Black Reach. It was good, and it was cheap. You could get all those models from Black Reach on eBay so cheap, and Orcs too, which was cool. Good old 5th edition. Back when 40K was simple. Now it's all crazy now. Yep. That's the way to do it. I basically quit during 7th edition too. I didn't play that many games. Finding people to play with was a pain, and finding people to play with who had the same idea of fun that I do was also hard. And I'm still struggling with that today. Finding people who are going to play to win the game, but are going to play and also have fun is tough. You get so many people that only care about the W. They don't care about the experience. So my motivation for painting personal models is just out the window. I think so. I think it's fixed. I think last time it's because I was using the mic on the computer and I hadn't switched it over to my Snowball by mistake. There may be an occasional faint echo if the audio from the computer is a little too loud, but it should be very rare now. I think. So it shouldn't be too big of an issue. If the guy in Discord was an AFK, he could say something and you'd know when he spoke. And if, oops, well, I'll just lob that off now. There's going to be a spike short. If that did not fix it, then I'll just have to look into either moving the mic or grabbing my headset. I have so many cables and stuff dangling around over here. I try not to add too much more if I don't have to. Plus trying to paint while having the cables to the headset dangling around. Just around me in general is just extra stuff. Especially when I'm like airbrushing and I've already got like two airbrush hoses around me and paints and paintbrushes. It's a lot of extra junk. I guess I could look into a wireless headset. I don't know how that would work, but I could. Let's clean up these a little bit. And no cool painting today. Today's just like assembly, hangout day. I'm getting these guys assembled for some preliminary photographs so I can throw out or get banners ready to promote the Deathguard day. Gonna be a long stream. That'll probably be on a Saturday or Sunday. Was the, did you prime them first? Or did you just go straight to airbrush? Huh. All I can think of is maybe it didn't set properly yet, something like that. That might have done it too. What would you say? But you said wash. It's not like you were dry brushing, so I've never heard of I mean, maybe it was just because the brush was stiff, but. Yeah, varnishes might have helped as well.
Hello.
What up? Yeah, varnishes might have helped as well. Oh, I can hear myself in the background.
Hello.
What up? Yeah, varnishes might have. Oh, is that me that's doing it, or you? Hang on.
That's muted it.
Okay, cool.
I think it's
I was
good.
making sure, because if I didn't have my stream muted somehow, I was going to be like, what?
Yeah, that was just because I had the stream going at the same time.
Gotcha. But man, if you're in high school and you're already airbrushing and stuff, you're ahead of the game, man. When you're my age, you're going to be like a pro.
If I keep doing it, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna have time in college.
Well, I don't know. Gaming and energy drinks got me through college. I gamed more in college than I do now.
I'm trying to go to like University of Chicago. They say it's where fun goes to die. So.
What do you want to major in?
Econ.
Oh, nice. Yep. I went for business. It was poo-poo.
I'm gonna try and get econ for undergrad and then go to like business school probably.
What do you want to do with business?
Probably like business administration.
Yeah, that's what my 4 years in. If you're getting your master's in business, that'll help, but definitely at your age, vet all that stuff before you make those decisions. Not like to be discouraging, because college is a good thing, but I don't have a master's in business, but I got a 4-year in. I mean, you're watching me on Twitch right now because I never got a job doing business. Experience is the name of the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna like try and get into one of the like really elite schools, so like that way, hopefully my credential will be worth like enough to get me a job somewhere.
Yeah, that and your age, I mean, I wouldn't do it because I'm stubborn and I think that unpaid internships are bullshit. That's my opinion. But if you're willing to do an internship, that'll really help you out too, because you'll be able to put experience down on your resume. I just think, for me, I went to school late. I went to school out of high school, went to college out of high school, but I lollygagged around picking my full major. So by the time I got my business thing, I was in my 20s, and finally got that stuff taken care of. And I didn't have the experience, which is the problem. But, starting business school, 20 years old or 20, whatever, I get out and I want to get a job. It's like, yeah, I didn't do an internship because I had to make real money. Like, I couldn't not make money in my 20s and go take an unpaid internship. How am I supposed to pay the bills? Like, it worked in Pursuit of Happiness for Will Smith, but that's not the average person, I mean, I guess he might have been average, but that's not an average experience. It doesn't always work out. So you got these big, fat cats who have money and they get free labor in exchange for you getting experience, but at that, during that period, you're, having to eat cardboard boxes and live in a dumpster because you can't afford an apartment, and that's the problem. So
I know
if you're
at Chicago they have this like internship program where you get paid like for your internship. So
yeah, paid internships, no problem. They probably pay you a light amount, knowing that they're underpaying you because you're getting the experience, and that's fine because at least you're making something for your time. But free, an unpaid internship just seems like lazy for the company's part and mooching. Like, they're getting free labor for your experience, and then they're making money off you because you're still doing a job. It's just, yeah. But yeah, I mean, sounds like you got your ducks in a row, so to speak.
Yeah. I'm just like, I have a month till like early decision deadlines. colleges, so.
Well, the good thing is, too, you're talking about going for econ and then going for your MBA. So then
Right.
you'll have 2 degrees that are similar. Sorry, you guys can get that dog freaking out. You'll have 2 similar degrees in terms of, being related, but they'll be different. So you'll have multiple job opportunities. Like, your econ thing's going to open up certain doors. Your MBA open up certain doors. And then other doors are open because you got both. So that is basically what I'm getting at. You got to fall back, If things don't work out business-wise, you got that extra degree, which is good news. You probably didn't want to hear me do all that. You're probably like, I just wanted to tell you what I was doing. Shut up.
No, it's good. It's always to get advice, because, like, you never know. Maybe you're doing something completely wrong. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm doing something that'll help me, but maybe I'm wrong, and I should just start business now and build it.
Well, nah. I mean, the market's saturated with business majors. That's why I was saying MBA is good, because that's better than a bachelor's in business administration. And then, I wouldn't want to deter someone from college. It's a competitive market, and there's a lot of people. So that's why you going for econ in addition to your business degree is really, really good, because you're not going to be in a position like I am where you only have the one. The other thing I would suggest, and I think just about any adult would tell you this, you probably want to make sure, hopefully, whatever you're going to school for is something that you're interested in. If you absolutely hate econ, go do something else. That sounds terrible.
That's not like I like econ stuff. That's not
Otherwise,
I'd do analysis or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, except for art. I mean, you can go to art school, but then you just be in my boat. Don't do that. I mean, if that was the only option for somebody, I'd be like, go do it. But I mean, trying to go to art school and then like make it big, that's like becoming a singer or a rapper or a actor. Like, that's so tough. But yeah, like for example, I went in business school. I had to take some accounting classes. 2 accounting classes was enough for me to know I did not want to be an accountant. Not for me. I like math, but screw accounting. I was like, if I start my own business, I will pay someone to do my accounting for me, because this is ridiculous. It's not the kind of math that I particularly enjoy doing, and that's basically kind of what I was getting at with make sure the degree is something you're hopefully going to enjoy, which you said you would. People go into accounting thinking, oh, this is going to be great, I'm making a bunch of money, and then they hate their job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I think, I'm not in a super good position in life, but I think youngsters get that delusion of grandeur, like, I'm going to go to college and I'm going to get this super amazing job. And then they don't think, am I going to like this job? Think about that now.
For sure, yeah. I know that, I know a ton of people that are, sitting on accounting degrees or other kinds of science, biology degrees, and they just have a job doing something that anybody can do.
Well, yeah, that's the unfortunate statistical probability of having a degree. The majority of people who have degrees end up doing jobs that their degrees the degrees aren't required for. They just have a 4-year degree, looks good on a resume, and then they get a job, selling baskets or some crap. Or whatever. Right. That sounds bad, not baskets, but something else. Like, they could even have good jobs, but their degree is just irrelevant. And that's part of that's because, I feel old. I'm like the old man on the porch. But when my mom was growing up, a high school diploma was a big deal, especially in my area. Like, you had so many people that just got, dropped out of school. Good?
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay.
I regret
it's all good. But in my mom's day, so many people dropped out of school and just went in a factory because you could support yourself and family on that. But if you had your high school diploma, that was huge, and let alone getting a 2-year or 4-year degree, that was major. It was such a big deal. Now, I'm 30. 4-year degree is nothing. Like, it's almost like it's required. And there's so many people with 2-year degrees. And college is a little bit more accessible than it used to be. So now 4-year, like we were talking about with you, getting your MBA, that's going to set you ahead. You're now slightly above the curve with where everyone else is, and in like 20 years, if you have kids, they're gonna be in the same position where, Dad, everybody's got a 4-year degree. I'm gonna have to go get my PhD if I want to compete, because that's what's happening. Right.
It's definitely like a 4-year degree is like the place of the high school diploma, where like 99% of people have high school diplomas now.
Yep. Yeah, and the biggest problem, that's just slightly political, but the biggest problem we have is we push, there's a difference between us and like Germany. We push so hard on having the college degree, it's so important, blah, 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 and then we downplay, we look down on plumbers and electricians and mechanics and janitorial staff. We look down on all that. All those jobs are required. No one actually sits down to think about the statistics. If 300 million Americans all had a 4-year degree, there's not 300 million jobs for those people with 4-year degrees. We still need mechanics and janitors and burger flippers and electricians and plumbers and all that stuff. So, if you compare us to like Germany, we focus so hard on college. They focus really hard on getting a trade. Like, they still need those jobs, and it's not looked down upon. If you're a mechanic or something like that, it's still a job that's necessary for society. But here, we push so hard for, like, go be that businessman, Fortune 500, Wall Street, and that's great, but that's not something every American can do. It will never happen. Even if they all had degrees, it would never happen.
Right.
So,
yeah. I know what you're saying. I'm in like this after it's like during school program where we go out and like build a house. Like we do all the electrical and plumbing and stuff. And like for me, I should definitely go to college because I'm like one of the top students in my school. But like, there's a lot of people out there that they would be better off going into the trades. So.
Yeah, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like, yeah, man, I gotta fix this thing. It's being dumb. Because you still need that. If you woke up tomorrow and there was no plumbers, who's gonna come fix your sink or your toilet? You know what I mean? And that's why, like, when I go places, if somebody has a job that may be considered as less desirable, I don't look down on them for that, because we still need it. But people do, unfortunately. What is going on with this thing? 95 will that work? 80. Did that fix that? No. Why is there a big M at the end of this? Let's do 90 and... Huh. Yeah, Java, I would agree with that 99%. I love what I do, but good luck making a living doing that. That's the problem. I'm doing Twitch stuff because I'm going to probably start minimizing my commission load because I can't sustain a living on the commissions because I can't paint fast enough and I can't charge anymore. So that is the way it is. All right, what is going on with this?
It works for like 50% of people because they love something that is worth something to society. But like, I mean, not that painting is not worth something to society, but it's just not paid enough for you.
Oh yeah, because we don't value art that way. That unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Hang on, I'm still trying to figure out what the heck's going on with this stupid font. Here it is. Is it width? 40. Let's try that. Did that fix that? I think it did. Fantastic. Anyway, sorry, it was bugging me up at the top versus recent followers. It was bringing part of the letters down to the bottom. It was driving me bonkers. Yeah, so, where were we at? Oh, yeah, so we don't value art like we used to. Well, I'll say we used to in the past. Like, I don't want to compare myself to like Picasso or Michelangelo because it's not even the same type of thing. But, and hell, they were probably even poor at some point. But, again, we focus so much on business. And then we don't actually appreciate, like, what do you do when you make money? Business people who furnish their houses, they end up buying, like, artisan crap and paintings and all this stuff where they pay someone a lot of money to do it. But up until you get to that point, until you are that fat cat, the average person doesn't attribute that same value. They'd rather spend money on something else. Or we've grown so accustomed with cheap stuff, again, this is way more than I probably should be doing, but we outsource all of our jobs. We import all the crap that we used to produce domestically. It's now produced very, very cheaply. We charge the same amount, and now we have unemployed people. So that happens. So we bring in all this crap from China that's cheaply produced and cheaply priced, and people think that's what they're going to pay for. So people complain about Games Workshop products, for example, which I think they're a little bit high. But there's a difference. If these were produced in China, you'd be getting a lower quality. You know what I mean? And then the same goes for painting stuff. People are like, "Oh my God, why don't you paint one mini for $5?" And then, they never really have. But we don't value really anything except for kind of what the media really tells us to value, at least in my opinion. So somebody looks at what I do, whether they think it's good quality or crap quality, and then I say I'm going to charge X hundreds of dollars to paint X minis, and then they go, "Well, that's ridiculous." And then I explain it to them, and even if it's crappy, let's say this guy's going to take me 4 hours to paint it. At minimum wage, I should be charging about $30, $32, somewhere in there. I tell the average person that $32 to paint it, then they got to buy the actual model, and then they go, "Well, that's ridiculous." And I go, "Well, how much do you make an hour? I'm going to give you 4 to 5 hours of my life. You don't want to pay me the minimum." Yeah, that's just minimum. It's not what I actually charge. You don't want to pay me the minimum for it, and you think that cheap price is what we should be assigning to the value of the time in the model. We've grown accustomed to that. We import so much cheap crap and cheap labor that we think that is the standard, and at least that's my opinion. That's not the case. And that's the same thing for even outside of artists. The same thing. People want to get the cheapest thing they can get, and then when they get cheap work out of it, or the person that's providing the service isn't giving them the best customer service or the best services possible, well, you're paying for what you get, And I'm not the cheapest studio out there in terms of art. I'm also not the most expensive, but there's a difference. You get what you pay for, and there's a big difference between now I don't want to use X-Wing as an example because for pre-painted minis X-Wing minis look good, but look at a lot of other pre-painted games. Like compare what I get paid to paint versus say HeroClix, for example, which I used to play. That's outsourced to, like, I don't know, India or Asia, China, wherever the hell it is, for 10 cents a model to paint it or some crap, and it looks like shit. It really does. They can't feasibly charge $300 or something dumb for a booster pack of 6 miniatures because that's what it would cost to pay a real artist to do it. So they outsource it to somewhere where they charge sweatshop labor and they paint these, but you get really, really crappy models. For pre-paints, I guess they're alright, but there is a quality difference. But that's what people are used to, and it's ridiculous. And I got a long-winded rant about something that's trivial, to be honest. But yeah, I get real serious about it because I guess it ties in with society valuing things. And for example, nothing pisses me off more. This is again getting slightly political, but nothing pisses me off more than seeing one of those pictures on social media where somebody doesn't tip their wait staff and they give them some stupid, usually religious thing, and it's like they're underpaid. They make like $3 an hour or less. That's what I think it's what the federal minimum wage is for wait staff that's tipped. I think it's 2 something unless it went up. And then I look at that and I try and when I go to eat, I try and imagine how their day's going, how much work they're putting in, yada yada. And then I always tip. Like A, you got to make a living, and B, the better the service is, the better your tip is. I understand. I'm going to give you money that's going to pay your bills, but people look down on people in service jobs. This is me making a stereotype here or an assumption, but it seems that way. But being on the other end of it, I understand what how this works, and how to value people's labor. So I try and make sure that I assign what I can afford to when I pay them. But the average society doesn't view that. At least I don't think so. I don't even know how we got on this subject anymore. I tell most people that when I'm in stream, I will ramble. Everyone knows I will ramble. You get me on a topic, I'll ramble. So, I think okay. Sorry, I think the reason we got on this subject was probably because I was talking about why I was going to be phasing out or at least minimizing some of my commission loads, because I can't charge more, which I charge a decent amount, but I can't work faster. And then, so that's where I was going. Yeah, because the average commission person thinks a Space Marine should cost less than $5 to paint, and I can't do that. It's just, paint. You've watched my streams where I paint a Primaris Marine. If somebody wants that quality, let's take out, let's say, a half an hour of my live stream, maybe an hour. But still, let's say my live streams average 4 to 6 hours. You're looking at 4 to 5 hours per mini for that quality. You want me to paint 10 of them? That's 40 to 50 hours of work. And you want to pay me $5 a mini? That's stupid. It's not going to happen.
Right.
But on the other hand, if you didn't want to pay me hourly, 40 hours worth of work for 10 Space Marines, I understand, because it's a lot of money. But at that point, you're paying me for my art and my time. You're not paying just to get minis on the table. If you're paying to get minis on the table, you wouldn't be paying for that quality. So it's a trade-off. When you come to a single commission studio, you're paying because you want to support the artists and get what they do. If you just want painted minis, you can get cheap painted minis anywhere. But it's a slippery slope or fine line. So, anyway, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back in like 2 seconds. I've had an energy drink and my bladder's screaming, so I'll be right back. And we're back. It did not take too long. Alright. What's this? Oh. Alright, let's minimize that. Let's get a couple more things assembled. Okay.
This is the first part of yesterday's stream. Did you highlight the black with the airbrush before you highlighted it, or did you?
I did. Well, sort of. It's 3 stages. I used Raven Black. I think it was coal. Nope. Raven Black, Charred Stone. Charred Stone's from the 45 degree ish, and then Rock was from the top in some specific spots. Then I washed the model with Nuln Oil to tone down the gray a little bit and bring it all together. And then I edge highlighted with Dawnstone. Yeah, Dawnstone. And if you were that's the start of where, the good upper end quality would be. If you wanted to go in and add an extra highlight on top of a highlight, you could go into Administratum Gray, and that's a lot brighter gray, and you can hit some of the more extreme spots where I edge highlight most of the model. Then you might really focus in on where the light source is and edge highlight that side. So you have a light gray on one side and even lighter gray on the other side. So it really helps pop the model. If I had to do that, the streams would be stupidly long. I mean, now we're talking about models that take in the teens for hours to complete. And I'm not doing that on live stream.
Yeah. I would snap and tell everybody to be quiet.
Yeah, I like communicating when I stream, but some of these ones recently where I've put in a little extra effort and they've taken a little bit longer, by the end of it I am drained. I haven't even wanted to stream games afterwards. I just go sit there and, piss around on the computer until I get sleepy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's draining. And then last night, because I screwed up and I didn't realize, I was looking at the wrong decal sheet. I didn't realize the Black Templar decals for vehicles were white, which makes sense because black armor plating, but I didn't catch that those were white, and then the actual shoulders on the decal sheets were black. So then I freehanded that shoulder, which I'm not super good at, and stresses me the hell out. It really does, because I don't want to screw up on stream. I don't want you guys to see me look stupid. And even then, it still looked stupid because I panicked and freaked out when I saw that the decal was there and I'd already finished with the freehand. So yeah, it happens. Java, I have sprayed them through an airbrush, but generally there's plenty of pre-thinned or airbrush specific paints that are close enough to Citadel colors that I just use those, or use the Citadel air colors, or their whatever they call them. The problem with their airbrush colors that Citadel puts out is they're not in dropper bottles, so it's still a pain in the ass to get them into the airbrush. Hang on, I'll show you. Where is that thing sitting at? There it is. Alright, so I worked on some Imperial Guard vehicles not too long ago. This is the Death World Forest, which is basically their Deathguard green air, I believe. Actually, that might even be empty. Yeah, it's pretty much empty. How the hell are you supposed to get that into an airbrush when it's pre-thinned? Like, that was really, really stupid. Because now you have to plan to, transplant this into something else, a dropper bottle or a syringe, to get into the airbrush. I mean, you could pop it. That's what I did. I just popped it and dumped it because I didn't need a whole lot for the project I was working on, but that's inconvenient to get into an airbrush when you can use a dropper bottle like this, or a bottle like this that you pop open and has a little hole and you just squirt what you need. This was a good concept to have airbrush-ready Citadel paints, poorly executed because it gave us this stupid-ass bottle. Now, I'm fine with these bottles for regular paints. I can deal with it, even though I'd prefer a dropper bottle in general. But for airbrushes, there's no excuse they didn't put it in a dropper bottle. That's just lazy and stupid.
But like, who even buys this Citadel air paint? So I've never. You're the only streamer I've seen use the Citadel air.
The only reason that I even had it was because the client wanted a specific color. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, unless it's requested that I use a Citadel paint, I will say I will probably get your paint matched within 95% of whatever color you're aiming for. I'll probably get pretty daggum close. If you're that adamant that it has to be Citadel and it's something I'm going to have to thin out to go through an airbrush and take the extra effort, I just charge more for that time because it does take time to do it. But yeah, that one wasn't so bad because it was inconvenient getting it in there, but I just went ahead and just went at it. Man, and this Finecast model right here is poop.
Oh, is that the spear on the end, or is that part of the spear?
No, it's his little spear. I just cut off part of it because there was a big air bubble and it was going to look really dumb, so we're just going to shave it down. These were free, so I'm not going to complain to GW to get new free ones, but Hiram Man donated them to have me paint them on stream. Of course, he's also going to try and win one because he plays Necrons, so it does give me something to stream.
I'm going to donate all those, whatever, Game of Thrones miniatures. Try and win them.
Yeah.
So I get to. I hope that they come out well, because they're going to be soft plastic apparently. So I hope that they have.
Which model, sorry?
The Song of Ice and Fire miniatures that you were looking at with
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Java, I like to think I have a pretty decent eye when it comes to paints. What I do is I grab the bottles that I have for existing lines of airbrush paint, and I try and find a match, just visually comparing first. If I can't find a match and I'm not worried about it, I can Google to try and find a suggested match from a different product line. And if I don't do that, I actually mix paints quite a bit. That's why I write down in my little notebook what I use, so that if I have to replicate it for another model, I already have the ratios so I can mix the paints from Minotaur and then go at it. If I didn't write it down or have a consistent thing, then they would look inconsistent. I've got one right now, a ratio that I didn't write it down, but I tinkered with to get a color for Sons of Horus with Minotaur paints, which would be pretty close to Citadel Sotek Green, I think. I think that's the one that's pretty close to the Sons of Horus pre-heresy color. And they didn't have a specific one from Minotaur that was perfect for it, so I mixed a couple colors and got something that was really close. And now if you're going from some other paint to Citadel now, their app's actually cool because you can take a photo and it'll attempt to color match the photo to their paint line. What would be super awesome is if that was not a Citadel specific app and that had a variety of paint lines in one. That would be a really snazzy app then. Much more useful. That one's useful for learning, getting Citadel matches, but if that crossed multiple lines, that would be freaking crazy.
Yeah, but Citadel wouldn't make that one. I'd have to
Oh no, they would not. They absolutely would make that because it wouldn't fit into their profits business, which makes sense. They want to push their own product. I get that. Which is, I mean, I don't mind promoting
Weapons
their.
at ready. It is
What was
time.
Hey, I got hosted. Sweet. Anyway, when the things pop up, I'm like, what did I change the sound to? But yeah, that's why I don't mind pushing their game products and their models, their paints. I refuse to push their tools because that is a thing where they would want you to buy them because it's GW, but stupid price. It really is. I can't in good conscience tell someone to buy a pin vise, hand drill, whatever you want to call it, for $30 just because it's got a fancy handle. It's dumb. And I have one of the old, I don't know if this is how all of them are, but I have one of the old Games Workshop measuring tapes, not the skull one. I did spend the $20 or whatever on the skull one, the servo head, servo skull, because it was cool looking. But I have one of their old red ones, and the particular one that I had, I popped off the casing, and it was like a cheap dollar case or tape measure inside with just their casing on top. So, I mean, I'm assuming some of their tools are probably just fancy versions, fancy handles, not any difference in quality. Rather you get the tools that function and pay what they're worth, not what some crazy price is, and have more money for models. At least that's my view. Now if GW decides to sponsor my channel and start sending me free crap, that might change my tune a little bit. I'd be like, look at this here fancy, best thing ever. Actually, I wouldn't even want to do that. I wouldn't want to give up my my soul, so to speak, just to push products.
Right. I don't think you're the kind of guy that would do that, especially after
No.
Never.
No, I couldn't. I mean, even in like, even when it comes to commissions, man, like, I'm honest with people. Like, I've told people things about projects that probably have lost me business, and I wasn't like rude. I was just like being perfectly honest with them, and I've talked people out of higher end models and stuff like that, and lost money. But at the end of the day, I feel like if I approach this from an integrity standpoint, people will appreciate that and be like, okay, he gave me the best value possible, and I'm gonna come back because I trust him and he gave me good service. If I screw someone over and they're not happy and they feel like they wasted money, they're not going to come back or tell their friends, So, that's my view. But I have people that, or I've had clients that, they had X budget, they want to spend a bunch of money, they wanted to get all these high-level models, which I told them, like, I'll do it. I will take your money. But you could, adjust your levels here, here, and here, save some money, and buy more models with it. Particularly on the high end of the scale, I've never painted a level 6 for anybody and spent that much time. The issue is, when you're playing basic minis, from 6 feet across the table, you only see a certain amount of details. You get to a point where you've got the details that look cool, but for the tabletop, they're really lost, to be honest. So, if you're going to pay for something of that quality, then are you going to appreciate it because you look at it and it's on a shelf, or are you going to play with it? If you're playing with it, go down one notch, save some money, get more models, and on the table it's going to look just as good because there's the details that people are only going to notice if they physically, hold the model. So, doing a 2-stage highlight where I do extra highlights, you're probably not even going to notice the second highlight unless you physically hold it. So, it's not a big deal. And then I've recommended different products for different companies. I've even given people lists of other commission studios they could use, because I feel like that's just the right thing to do. If you, and I mean, there's some businesses that wouldn't do that, but I want you to come to me not just for the business, but you want to support me as a person, because I'm an artist. It is a one-man show, you know. If that makes sense. Actually, I don't remember if it was you. It might have been you that said I needed like a business manager. Somebody said that. So, I don't know if I asked, what actual armies do you play?
I have a large Alpha Legion on me, and then that's pretty much it. I have some Eldar, but they're just not really an army.
Yeah.
Some cool models. Then I have those. I'm gonna try and build like a Primaris army, probably.
You're gonna try and build what, sorry?
A Primaris army.
Oh, the new Primaris models? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have like special rules and stuff.
The models look really good. I like them. I don't like that I'm going to have to update my army, but I do like the models. Oh man, this is really bad Finecast. This is terrible. This is awful. It's like the last model they ever made with that mold. Oh, it's awful. So these are going to be probably additional live stream giveaway models right here. The ones he's going to try and win, but with the models looking this poo-poo, I might do them both in one day and give them both away, because I don't know how much detail I'm be able to get on them when they look this crappy. Let's see what magic I can attempt to work. Okay. I guess they assume the average person's really going to heavily clean these models, but this is some of the worst Finecast junk I've seen, and I usually don't jump on that bandwagon because I try not to complain about their stuff too much, but this is terrible. If I had bought this, I definitely would have complained. That's one thing I'll at least give GW. Customer service is good. I'll give them that. For sure. I bought some Finecast years ago at this point. I had Calgar in his honor guard, and I had dudes who were missing the tips of their toes because the air bubbles, that's where they were. And they replaced all the stuff, which was nice. I feel like they lost a lot of money on Finecast, though, to be honest. And I was a bit of a snob because, well, two ways. I thought Finecast was going to be the end-all be-all. It wasn't. But I also really like Pewter because I feel like when you have an HQ, it's nice to pick them up and be like, oh, there's some weight to this guy. It feels valuable. So I really liked Pewter. I'd like their new plastic more if it wasn't crazy expensive. I feel like $35 for Primaris HQ is a little silly. Like I said, we get me talking, especially with some caffeine in. Hard to get me to shut up. That's about as good as this guy's arm's gonna get. Because there's no way to really shave that and make it look good. So, bye, crappy ball. Ugh. Yeah, I'll have to like do the basing where is he holding his staff, bro? Yeah, I'll probably have to do the basing where he's like jamming this into some dirt or something since the bottom of it was so mangled. So you have a pre-heresy Alpha Legion or post? Gotcha. I was gonna say maybe they'll give you a Primarch at some point, but I guess technically you could just buy any Primarch you want. Yeah, I mean, because I am Alpharius. Everybody's Alpha Legion. You're coming through a little muffled. I can't quite hear you. Sorry. Not sure what's going on. Let me try to turn you up in Discord. Maybe that'll help. Maybe it's just low. Nope, you are turned up all the way. What if I turn down the music? See if that helps. But I know people make the Alpha Legion joke, but I guess because they're, you know, all about, I guess, what's the term, subterfuge or deceit, whatever, guile. Guile might be a good word for them. I think that's like sneaky stuff.
For who? Is that
Alpha Legion? Ooh, you sound better now.
Yeah, it like I'm on my phone, but it like came off speaker. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yes, that's what I was saying. You could, I guess, use any Primarch and just claim it's Alpharius. Maybe he's in disguise. Though I don't know how that works very well, since apparently, at least the way it was explained to me, because I don't know everything about the lore, apparently Alpharius had a brother who's dead, supposedly, but they were both very small Primarchs compared to everyone else, so I'm not sure exactly how they would disguise themselves to fit. Like, if you were trying to imitate Gilliman, and you're tiny, what you would do. But it's
so,
still
like,
cool.
according to the lore, like, Alpharius died, but then Omega, like, took his place. But then
Yeah, okay, so maybe I was...
tell you which one it is. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. Maybe that's what it was. The Alpharius died, and then what, the one you just described, that's his brother?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's what actually happened, and he just claimed to be him, or whatever. And don't, like, all their... Isn't it like all the Chaos Marines from Alpha Legion, don't they all look like Alpharius? Isn't that a thing they did?
What?
Yeah, I was pretty sure in the fluff that they modified all of Alpha Legion to look like Alpharius. I thought that was a thing. Their faces.
I have no idea. I'm not like a huge fluff.
Yeah, I think that's what they actually did.
Because
when you killed, because when you if you killed one, you weren't sure if it was actually Alpharius, and then or apparently his brother, and if you asked who they were, they all said, "I am Alpharius." So you wouldn't know who they actually were, because they all looked the same.
That's cool.
Yeah. Now that's what I've been told from Chaos players. I don't know if that's actually true, because I didn't vet that information. Because I mean, I play Codex Marines. I don't care that much. The Legion that I liked for Chaos is well, it's terrible. I hate it post Heresy. So stupid Emperor's Children. I think they put pre Heresy looks so damn cool. Post Heresy, Hate them. They're my least favorite Chaos faction.
Yeah, the Noise Marines do not look as good as the other Marines from Gods.
Yeah, and it's not even just like Noise Marines for me. It's just the pre-heresy, they look cool. Post-heresy, they followed Slanesh, so the god of hedonism, and they grew like tits and dicks and boobs and tentacles and all that crazy stuff, and I didn't like that because they're basically like a bunch of walking orgy rapists, and that seems ridiculous to me. Now, I say that, and then there's like Deathguard who are plague bringers, but that seems like a pretty straightforward type of warfare or chaos, but the hedonism thing is like, hey, we're gonna kill you, and then we're gonna like rape your butthole. Like, it just seems so stupid. I don't like it. I don't. And then the tentacles and the what is it, the demonettes of Slanesh or whatever. I don't like any of that crap. I'm more of a every other god but them, to be honest. I think Thousand Suns look amazing. They look super sweet.
Yeah, they definitely look. And the new Deathguard look awesome.
I liked some of them. That's my issue with Chaos. Like, if I played them, I would just do pre-heresy and count as army because I don't like a lot of the dangly bits, and that's my only issue with the Deathguard compared to Codex Marines, which it makes some sense, but compared to Codex Marines, they have so much dangly crap, and that I don't like it. Like this dude, he's cool, but he's got all these extra spikes and things growing out and all this other stuff, and it gets to a point where it's like, it's just too much for me. Like, a light mutation I think's cool, but that's my personal preference, which is probably why I don't play Chaos.
Well,
Or if I
like,
did play
I chose Alpha Legion too, because I don't have to have all this like crazy stuff coming off them.
Oh yeah, exactly. Or like Khorne Berserkers, like they're just Chaos Marines with a bunch of knives. I mean, that's cool to me. Thousand Suns are cool because at least the unmutated stuff, because they basically have that Egyptian aesthetic, and I like that. Airman's cool looking, though I like the pre-heresy Airman model better than the current Airman model myself. But again, less dangly bits and stupid stuff. So I'd probably just make an ornate base for him and just use the pre-heresy one, count as, just because he looks cool. But that's the way I like 40k, is like, if you have a concept or an aesthetic you like, and the base sizes and weapons are still relatively correct, go for it. Like, I saw an army once for orcs. The guy wanted to play Necrons, but he was using orc models, which sounds stupid, but he modified every orc model he was using as a count-as army, and every one of them was like half orc, half Necron, half looted, blah, 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 and I was like, I'll play with you. You are using a count-as army with Necron rules, which seems stupid, but you have spent so much time converting this army to look like Necrons that have fused with orcs, which is some weird-ass concept. I'm like, yeah, you're not doing it because you want to be OP. You're doing it because it was an interesting concept on the tabletop for you. So long as the weapons line up right, with the profiles, I'm cool with that, which is cool.
Yeah, it's not like just setting some rocks on the field and saying that they've got leg or something.
Yeah, you didn't go to Walmart and get your bucket of toy soldiers. Yep. We were like last night we were talking about the papercraft turd. Yeah, that's so stupid. And he knew I worked on as a commission artist too. That particular guy, every time I went to that shop, if he was there, he literally walked up to me and he would stick a papercraft model like 6 inches from my face. I kid you not. It was the stupidest crap. It's like, come on, man.
What was it for? Like a defiler or something?
No, he was making. At the time he made papercraft like Sisters of Battle and Inquisition models, so all of his infantry looked like Minecraft. But he was cramming some kind of rhino in my face, and I made the comment like, I said, I won't play against that crap. I won't do it. I mean, it's different if you have like 3 real rhinos and 2 papercraft because you're buying 1 rhino a month or whatever. You intend to update the army. I don't mind that. I don't mind those kinds of proxies because 40k is expensive. As long as you're making the effort to replace fake models with real ones, I'm okay with it. He wasn't. He just built all this crap just to play. Didn't care about the rules, and then he wasn't just like building to play. He was building to win with hyper competitive crap. And where was I going with that? Oh, anyway, I told him I wouldn't play against it because it's bullshit. And I told him that if I did play against it and I killed any of his models, I should be able to stomp on them or burn them in the parking lot because they're made out of paper. And you can replace them. Yeah, because it was stupid. He did it every time I come in. He'd be like, "Look what I got!" And he'd ram some crap in my face. Literally, like standing at the counter at the shop, he'd ram in my face. I'm like, dude, no, come on, get out of here. And I kid you not, dude. He had infantry. He had papercraft models on bases that looked like they were Minecraft. They had the square heads and the square bodies and little square arms. His rank and file infantry were all made out of paper. It's stupid. It was one step above buying a bucket of green army men because he actually had to put some effort into cutting these and taping them and gluing them.
Would you play with somebody who like 3D printed an army?
Depends. Is it a custom 3D print where they designed them, or they just printed out Ultramarines or whatever? Because at that point, I feel
it's a theoretical. Like it's like a what if, but say they just printed them off somebody else's.
Yeah. If they were never going to buy real ones and they were just rip-offs of stolen models, I would probably, on principle, not play with them. There's a difference between, I don't know if you're familiar with Wargame Exclusive. They make a lot of borderline copyright infringement stuff that looks a lot like Games Workshop. Like, I had some of their Tau models. They have some really cool Chaos Necrons and Inquisitors. They have a lot of cool models. If you never look at them, Wargame Exclusive. If you're using one of those, let's say you use their Typhus, count as $40. Or not the Typhus, their Mortarion, $40. I wouldn't have no problem with you using that because you still bought the model, you're still going to paint the model, and you're going to play with it. And yeah, it looks like Mortarion, but you bought one that's cheaper, but it's not crappy looking. You didn't go buy an Army Man, but it still looks like Mortarion. The 3D printed thing just feels like stealing, I guess. Now, the caveat for me would be if you 3D printed an army, but you designed those 3D guys to be something special, I'd be fine with it, But if you're just like, well, I 3D printed 40 Primaris Marines, I'm going to use these. It's like, well, it's that you could have just bought toy soldiers. I mean, I guess you could paint them, but at that point, it's kind of stealing, sort of. That'd be more of a case-by-case basis. And again, I'm more likely to play with someone if they're like, hey, I 3D printed these, but I'm slowly filling them out with real models. Or I 3D designed these Marine Countess that look really cool, and this is the only way to do it. All right, fair enough. You're making something cool. There's a hobby element. It's not just you trying to skirt costs. And I understand. I mean, that sounds pretentious, but I understand trying to save money on 40k. I get it, which is why I don't mind Countess models from different lines because Wargame Exclusive is good, Kabuki Miniatures is good, Cyborgs Miniatures is good. There's a couple other third-party companies that make really amazing models. Cyborgs Miniatures are ridiculous. They have really cool looking crap. Puppets War, really good stuff. Anvil Industries. If I had to play against the Countess Victorian Miniatures, if I had to go against the Countess IG Army, like, some of those models that you buy are cheaper. Some of them are more expensive, and you just buy them because they look cool. So.
Right.
Yeah, so Java, that's exactly. I don't mind. Unless you're, it's an alternative army. That I don't mind a full army proxy if there's still a hobby element. Like I was just saying, like if you're going to go to Victorian Miniatures and you're going to buy a bunch of wasteland-looking guardsmen because you like that aesthetic, because they almost look like the ones I'm thinking of. Almost look like Steel Legion or Steel whatever, Brotherhood of Steel from Fallout, but they're on the scale of an IG Guardsman. You may come out a few dollars ahead, or you may spend a few extra dollars on that unit to have that in the army. I don't mind that, because now you're not really buying something super cheap. You're buying something because it looks cool. And that's the way I am with miniatures. If it looks cool and the weapons are close enough that I can identify them, I'm generally fine with it. Just don't papercraft me or Green Army Man me. I can't do it. That's me though. And the 3D printed thing, that's just off the cuff. It really depends on who I'm really talking to be honest. Like, because it could be somebody who is never ever going to be able to afford to buy Warhammer, you know, or War Machine or whatever. And I might make an exception for that. But it's different if you could eventually be building a real army and you're just, you know, whatever. Or, you know, if you're 3D printing 5 Wraith Knights because that's the new hotness, you know. Like if you're Tau and you're printing Kroot or Vespid, okay, it's probably because you like them. But if you're out here, you know, I've just printed Celestine and Guilliman and all this Uber stuff because it won a tournament, get out of here. You're not doing it because of hobby. You're doing it because you want to win. No, that's stupid.
Did you put the backpack on before you painted? Like, did you put the backpack on before you paint your primaries?
Yeah, backpacks are on all those. All the primaries I've done live were fully assembled. Now, you could assemble them in stages. I don't. I only really do that if A, I can't get to a part, or B, it needs to be really high detail. Even my own models, I'd still assemble them. It's just easier to keep track of stuff, and there's a good chance that whatever it is that I'm having a hard time getting to, you probably won't see anyway. That's just one of the corners I cut sometimes, or most of the time, to speed up the paint process, and they still look good. Like, hang on. Oh, took a tumble. Tell me he didn't break. Alright, he did not break. So, this was painted, fully assembled, as the camera sits here and shakes on me. And I mean, I reasonably got in here and got all the details that are relevant. There may have been a few extra places I could have maybe gotten a little bit sharper details or something into had he not been fully assembled, but I just felt like it wasn't necessary, you know. And then this is the Black Templar from last night. Not a whole lot was really covered on him except for maybe his helmet, but I still got in there. I could have probably left the banner off and painted that and then glued it on, but it wasn't that big of a deal. So, yep. And then particularly with airbrushing, if the model's fully assembled, or you could sticky tack it or whatever together. If it's assembled, your light sources are going to be more consistent when you're spraying with the airbrush. You know, you don't want to get one light source on an arm wrong and on the other side proper, and they put together and the gradients look stupid. And I don't know how long you were here, but that's the let's see if I can zoom it in here, or zoom it and focus it in. That's the freehand shoulder I did. It's not the best thing I've ever done, but I was happy with it, all things considered. And then, you know, I made sure it was on principle. I was like, you're getting a Black Templar decal just on principle. It's going to be on here because I found out you had one, and you're getting it. So, yep. And he looks, I think he turned out really cool. All these guys I've done live on stream look better than a big chunk of my models because I haven't been working on any of my stuff recently. Sword turned out cool. It's actually a Dark Angel sword on him as well. So,
I'm gonna paint like the power sword lieutenant, like that.
What'd you say?
Can you keep him on the screen so I can use him as a reference? Alright, I'm gonna mute myself so I can turn on my compressor.
Actually, did I take a picture of... I'm trying to think if I had a reference. I think I got plenty of power weapons on my website. If you need me to or would like me to, I can walk you through the process. Now, this will look a little bit better on a sword that doesn't have writing in the middle either. I didn't feel like doing the writing, so I just power sorted over it, and it's just faintly there. But I can actually walk you through how to do the lightning stuff. It's really simple, and it takes 3 paints. The power sword on stream took like 2 minutes.
Don't feel like you have to hold him for me or anything. I don't want to keep you up. Just like if he's like,
do you pause the stream or take a screenshot or something?
Oh, I can pause it. That's a good idea.
Yeah, actually, hang on. Let me bring something up here real fast.
I can't pause it on my iPad.
Let's see. Portfolio. Let me see if I can find you a lightning sword reference that's steady and something I spent more than 2 minutes on. Though the process is the same, so not that big of a difference. If my website will ever load. Alright, let's see. Okay, let me see if I've got a zoomed in photo of Celestine's weapon. That would be ideal. Open a new tab. Nope, wrong one. Let's see.
Java, do you have an airbrush?
There we go. That's still not the best photo of a power weapon. 'Cause it's not zoomed in. Let's see here.
Oh, that's fun. It's exciting.
It'll take me too long. Yeah, I probably didn't have it up, but I've got a thing on my Twitch page now where it's linked with Amazon, so if somebody buys the products that I suggest, at least I make something. So I probably missed out on that one, but now it's there. Alright, so I can't find a good image without spending a million years trying to find the one I exactly want to show you.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to get the glow, I use Montana, I think this is ice blue or electric blue. Shock blue light, so somewhere in there. As I drop it back down. And then I use white, doesn't matter as long as you can get the white in. And then, so I spray like the hint of where I want that blue. It's faint, you know, you want blue, but it's kind of faint. Then I hit the high points with white where I want it to be brighter. And then I go in with a paintbrush and I hand do a lightning arc in the middle of the blue that I laid down up to the white. Then I take ghost tint plasma fluid. I spray the sword down so it makes all that stuff blue, like blue. And then I come in with the white again with a paintbrush and I paint the high points and redo the lightning arc kind of inside the first lightning arc, so you get that bright white on top of the bluish, and then you have the darker blue or faint blue haze behind that, and it really creates a lightning effect, and it's really fast. And then I come in and I edge highlight the side of the sword white, where, you know, the lightning's presumably hitting it and making the weapon, you know, glow, vibrate, whatever. And then I, you know, repaint the little nodules where the lightning's coming from and go with that. So it's pretty quick, but ghost tint plasma fluid really brings it all together. And it's the same thing I did on the plasma weapon here, just the ice blue or shock blue, a little bit of white from the top. I ghost tint towards the bottom edge to leave a little bit of the white showing. And then I use black wash on the side of the weapon where the overspray was to tone that down and make it more of a dark blue. Because I don't want the whole thing super bright. I want it subdued and call it done. Plasma fluid's super good stuff. I mean, that and fresh blood, and then ghost tint brown. Those are all three really good ghost tint colors from Minotaur. And those are basically the equivalent of like a candy coat. It's what they are. So... got an email. What's the email say? I got bonus points of sheets. Never even go to sheets. Alright. What else can we throw together here while we're sitting here on the stream? Do I want to build you? You're like 2 pieces. 3 pieces. Probably good. Better get you prepped. These won't be for the Deathguard day, neither will the Necrons, but good stuff to have. It's the back. What's the back of their model? Yeah, it is. Okay, that makes sense. I'm assuming that Meltagun's part of his stuff. Does it go on this thing? Where the heck's that go? Ah, okay, I see it now. Alright. Music commence. Now I've actually got the chat back up though. Really? Your tube just broke, buddy? Ridiculous. Man, manually fix that. Seems like that's gonna go on, yep, first. Alright. Plastic shavings, gotta get out of there. Gotta get out. Oops, if I have it going the right way. Okay, cool. Let's get your arm on first, homie. Guess I'm supposed to bend that up to match fit, I guess. Let's see here. That needs to pop up in there. Methinks. There we go. Muchos better. That's what happens when you've never built one of these models before. You just kind of wing it. I think he looks pretty cool, all things considered. Nice. Yeah. I'm gonna pop the AFK screen up for just a second. I'm gonna grab something right back. Alright. Thought we might do some interesting basing for this fellow. I got some tile things from the Home Depot or whatever. They're really easy to break, make good rocks or flat areas. Make some interesting debris for your dudes to stand on. And I like to have a little bit overlap the edge of a base because it kind of gives it like a 3D element. like the way that's looking. I missed a mold line here, so let's get that scraped off. So here's what we're going to do. So we've offset them to the back of the base a little bit. I'm going to do some extra grass and stuff here. Maybe if I've got some tufts, we'll have some taller grass or something like that. So you can see it overhangs the lip, so add a little extra pizzazz to them. Sorry, I'm responding to one of our local gaming guys. After my stream today, I might game, see what he's interested in doing. Alright, and woo, 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 woo. Earthquake test, earthquake test. Sorry guys, bang my knee on my table here. Let's get this chaplain together. Gotta make for a cool mini. Assuming this is a chaplain or yeah. Or whatever it is. Hell, I don't know what this thing's supposed to be. It doesn't have a skull helmet, so I know it's from the Horse Heresy box. Ooh, I almost sliced my finger. Good thing this knife is a little dull. See a nice little slip there. A nice little slip. Whoops. Alright, let's see if I can assemble this guy properly. Yeah. Okay.
On my discussion, I was able to do the highlights on my WordPad or my Word document, but when I went to post it, it didn't show the link to Skybox.
You might just have to format it to have a hyperlink. Is there not something in the discussion that says URL? Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, sometimes formatting just doesn't carry over well, or in that case, I guess it took a minute to create previews or something. Nice. Looks slick. It's a good looking model. I've never bought any of these pre-Heresy models from. I mean, I owned some Marines at one point, but the new ones from GW, these plastic ones, actually look pretty good. Line up good. They hide a lot of the mold lines in good places now where there would be creases, so cleanup's a little bit better. Yeah, it's a good place to hide that mold line. Or the mount of the model where it lines up. Do that. Let's try that a little. There we go. Cool. We'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let's save that basing material for later stuff. Let's toss in here with the snow. So this is what we got so far, fellas, what we were just working on. This will be one of our future giveaways. This was donated by Kaiser Tides, I believe this is username on Twitch. I've got that assembled up and on a base, ready for painting. He looks pretty cool. Getting the cape's gonna be a little bit annoying because of the way he is, but he should be fine. We got this little bro. He looks pretty cool. And I might be able to wiggle some airbrush on the cape, depending on how well I can mask off with the silly putty. Sorry, a little OCD about my dealios. Alright, so those two future giveaways. These were donated by Hyraman on Twitch. They are failcasts, but he wanted to see me paint something other than Xenos, so he donated a couple of models. So I might paint one of these next week since I'm finished with my Primaris season. It was season 1 of my Tutorial Tuesday. I'm not sure when I'm going to, air quotes here, start another season. I'll paint, but I don't know when I'm going to like number them. Because I want them to kind of go in a line, so we'll see. But got those two for future giveaways. And then for the Deathguard day that we're planning on, we've got 2 different Poxwalkers we're going to try and paint live. And then somebody will win one model, and then the unit of 9 that goes with it. Someone will win the other model, and then the other 9 that go with it. So those are going to go. We've got 1 Plague Marine. We're going to paint that guy up. And then a unit of the unit of Plague Marines from the box will go with him to the winner. We've got the Sorcerer. We'll paint him up, and the winner will get the 3 characters from the box: the Sorcerer, the Lord of Contagion, and something else. So, and then we've got the Plague Drone or Blight Drone, whatever that's called. So we're gonna get that going. And we'll paint that up, and it'll be a single because there's no extras, but that'll go to a winner. So the rest of the stuff we're going to do on Deathguard Day is going to depend on what extra promo stuff that I have available at the time. I've got some dice. There's a good chance we'll be giving away some dice here that have my little Fam Services logo on it. So we got some of those that might go out. Where's the other box? Right here in front of me. You guys have seen these before. Should be getting some more of these cut from Death Ray Designs. So movement widgets. hoping to have some wound marker dials that you turn that'll have a number on it, like 1 to 30 or 1 to 25 or something like that, so you can use them for your vehicles and your HQs, and maybe even use them in War Machine. I've got some cool swag from GameMats.com. They sent me a mat, and that's for me to use in battle reports, and they sent me a bunch of small swag things to give away on stream, so I'll have that. And anything else will just depend on how much stuff I can get cut from Austin at Deathguard Designs before the scheduled date, which I will hopefully have scheduled as an event on Twitch soon. If I can't get it up by the end of October, it'll probably be the first week of November. I say that because I want to do it around Halloween, but I've got stuff going on around that time, so I'm not sure what day I'll be able to schedule it. I would like to schedule it on a weekend, Saturday or Sunday, because it's going to be a long stream, so keep an eye out for that. But for those of you who have hung out in the stream today, thank you. I know today was not a paint day, but I did want to get this stuff assembled and prepped. So for the Deathguard thing, I don't have to worry about the assembly process, and I can take some photos of this stuff too. I might be on sometime before the end of the week painting something or assembling more stuff. We'll just see what happens with commissions. If I don't see you before the end of the week by either doing model stuff or painting, I might see you gaming. If I don't see you on any of those, I'll be back on Tuesday with my Tutorial Tuesday, probably painting a Necron. So I'm going to hop off for now, guys, and get some stuff done off stream or off of Twitch. And hopefully I'll catch you tonight if I get on the game. So thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you guys later.